Okay, I'm going to be working from Chapter 6, page 288, problem number 11 and 12. Number 11 is wanting us to shade regions of a Venn diagram. For Part A, it wants to know the areas where at least one plant is completed by the contract date. So, for starters, I would have this area here where there was plant 1, this area here that was plant 2, and this area here which was plant 3. So far though, what I have is exactly 1. So since it says at least 1, it wouldn't only include that, it would also include these areas here where I had 2. And also 3 is at least 1, so all of that region should be shaded for Part A. Okay, for Part B, it wants to know all the plants completed, so the only place that has all the plants completed is that area where all 3 of them overlap in the middle. That's what you should have for B. For C, it says none of the plants completed by the contract date, so what you would be talking about in that case is this area on the outside that is not contained in any of the circles. For D, it would like to know only the plant at Site 1 is completed. So this would include the area where plant 1 is completed, but since it says only plant 1, I would not include these regions here. I would just include the area that's highlighted in blue, because in those orange regions, plant 1 is completed in addition to another plant. For the next part, for Part E, it wants to know exactly one of the 3 plants is completed. Well, what I had so far for answer D would be part of your answer. You would also have this, because that would be exactly 1, and this would be exactly 1. And once again, I would not need any of these overlapping regions, because those are not exactly one of the plants. Exactly 1 means 1 and only 1. Okay, for Part F, I'm going to need either the plant at Site 1 or both of the other 2 plants. Now, just to show you the notation, this would be the probability that it was plant 1 or both of the other plants. Now, that being the notation for Part F, basically all it is saying is we're first going to look for the place where task 2 and 3 both occur, which would be this section here, as well as this section here. And both of those 2 pieces, tasks 2 and 3, both occur. And then we're also including any place where task 1 occurs. So task 1 occurs obviously here. It also occurs here in conjunction with 2 and here in conjunction with 3. So you end up with all of the circle for task 1, and then you end up with the overlapping portion of task 2 and 3. Now we'll move on to number 12. Okay, number 12 uses that C kind of looking as an exponent, which is a complement. Now, when you see this C as an exponent, the complement means not. So I think the best way to do this is to start off with finding out what A or B would look like, that union being an or. So I'm going to use the orange to mark A or B. A or B would include this, it would include this, and it would also include this, because a union does include the places where both A and B occur. So the complement of that would be what I'm shading in blue here, everything that was basically not in either circle. So that's what you would have for 12A. Okay, on this smaller diagram below, I'm going to show what not A and not B would be. That intersection, the N symbol stands for and. So we're going to start with not A. I'm going to mark with the orange. That would be anything over here in B, or anything that was outside. Now I'm going to mark not B here in yellow. So not B would be anything in circle A, as well as anything on the outside. So if I'm looking for the intersection of not B and not A, once again with the blue, the only place those orange and yellow sections intersect is on the outside. So it turns out that these 2 expressions are totally equivalent, and that's what we have on 12A. For 12B, I'm starting with looking. Now for this part, I'm looking for the intersection of A and B and its complement. So I'm going to mark with orange the intersection of A and B would look like that. And then everything that is the complement would be anything that's not that, which would include what is just in A, what is just in B, and also what is in neither. If you're thinking about it, this orange section here is the area where both events occur. These two separate circles are the area where one event occurs, and the outside is where neither occurs. So those are the four different possibilities in your sample space. A but not B over here, B but not A on the right-hand side, both in the middle, and then neither on the outsides. On this smaller diagram, I'm going to start with what is not A with the orange. So not A would include the part in B and what's on the outside. I also am going to use the yellow to include what is not B. So that would be what's over here in A, and then anything on the outside would be not B. And now the union would be any place that the yellow or the orange occurs. So it would include the outside region where they both occur, as well as this part and this part. So once again, I have found that the two expressions they give me are equivalent.